If COVID-19 became a pandemic in 1990 rather than 2020, how would events have played out differently? I think there would be a DARE-like cartoon mascot to promote COVID safety protocols. X-Men cartoon telling you to wear a mask during cartoon time. I don't know, but George Carlin would have been hilarious. The grunge scene probably would have never happened. I would be 9 years old playing in my backyard or up in my room with stuffed animals and be super quick excited that I didn't have to go to church. Good question, terrible responses. Dan Quayle would spell it wrong. I like to think George H.W. Bush would have taken it more seriously than Trump did. I'm not sure, but I hope so. As a software engineer, rather than remoting in, I could just dial in and download the 100 to 200K of source code and work on it at home. Security wasn't a real issue then. DOS text-based software. Mike Huckabee would suggest we isolate the carriers of this plague as he did with AIDS. Read my lips, wear a mask. Nobody would know who Joe Exotic is. Toilet paper rolls across America. Read my lips, oh wait, you can't because I'm wearing a mask. George H.W. Bush. People would just continue to live their lives normally. This is the 90s for crying out loud. MacGyver would have saved us all. It would be nothing more than an extended flu seasons. Working in school from home being impossible would have been a huge asterisk problem and accelerate their virus spread. We might not have even noticed. While we knew of coronaviruses, RT-PCR was fairly new in 1990 and in very few centers. George H.W. Bush would have handled it better than Trump, so maybe less death in the US. RIP Serbia war, inflation, botulism, increased number of criminals and drug dealers, so yeah, COVID would have been a cherry on top. You don't realize how many asshole dumbass neighbors and relatives you have caused. There's no social media. There would be some good Seinfeld terms for people who don't wear masks. Wear masks under their nose, etc. If it happened in 1990, it wouldn't have been a political issue. If the virus had not been identified, i.e. we weren't able to categorize it as an actual pandemic, we would have thought it was just the flu and drank a bunch of OJ and eaten chicken soup. I would imagine it would have been very similar with H1N1 in 2009. No hassle. People would have died. No real numbers would have been even discussed and it would have been forgotten next year. You'd look around, not see your neighbors dropping in the streets and realize it's kinda bullshit. We would not have lockdown. We would not be halting all business and schools. Maybe masks would still be a thing. It would be a little more scary but far less annoying to hear about in media. Absolute chaos if it were coming in right on the heels of the Gulf War. No widespread testing and no social media. We would not even know there was a pandemic, except for the increased mortality among the elderly. We wouldn't have a vaccine so quickly. There would have been federal leadership to handle it. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.